Epistle to the ungodly. Primus, the apostle of the Lightbringer, to those who have been cursed by the spirit of rebellion, that they may be steadfast as men immersed in the blood of the devil. May you never know peace of mind and the bliss of blind faith. May the anti-God and Father of all the godless be glorified, for he has offered us great power. Through the resurrection of Lucifer in our dead hearts, he has borne us anew to an undead life, in order to take away from us the illusory hope of an afterlife. Satan preserves a place in the abyss for you, whom he guards by his power, because you show right unbelief. He guards you so that you will receive deliverance from the remnants of superstition. You madly rejoice in this, because you know that Lightbringer will be revealed to all. Although you have never seen him and will never really see him, you love him. Although you do not see him now, you believe in yourselves and feel great, even possessed joy, having achieved the goal of your faith in the power of the will, your deliverance. This deliverance has been the subject of inquiry and search by various false preachers and prophets, who prophesied of salvation by an imaginary deity from beyond, as if salvation had to come from outside, because you are apparently weak and incapable of attaining perfection by your own efforts. They were constantly investigating the old myths as to what specific time or season with regard to the false Messiah, their own speculative mind, whom they called Spirit, was pointing to in them when it predicted the glory of the Son of Yahweh. Satan, however, revealed nothing to them when they prophesied about what you have now heard from persons who, as a result of hallucinations, proclaim the good news to you. These very things belong to the depths of Satan. Therefore, have a sober mind, free from delusions, abandon all illusory hope, and await like predatory animals for their prey the day when Lucifer, the son of dawn, will be revealed. Like pups of wolves, no longer allow yourselves to be deluded by what you formerly desired in your ignorance, but like the rebel who possessed you, become devils in all your conduct. For it is written, "You are to be skeptics because I am unbelief." And since you turn to the father of the devil, who judges no one while you remain in this one world that exists, be guided in your conduct by courage, wisdom, and pride, for you know that you have not been freed from your true life, handed down to you by billions of previous generations by fairy tales of a better life after death. You have been freed by the gift of the blood of Lightbringer, who has no sin, because sin does not exist. Through him, you believe in the true God, the arch-human, who has been resurrected in you, and endows you with the dark glory of the power of the will, so that it is in yourselves that you place all faith and confidence. Since through obedience to instinct you have awakened, and as a result have become seers, give yourselves to the needs of the flesh fervently, from the heart, for by the word of Lightbringer you have been born anew to the life of the undead. For all religions are like grass, and all their glory is like a field flower. The grass withers and the flower falls, but the need to rebel against tyranny lasts forever. Therefore, reject all the evils of blind faith, the deceit of the priests, the hypocrisy of the sanctimonious who teach about morality, the envy of the knowledge of the more intelligent, and all the holy instruction of others. Like wolf pups, crave the fresh blood contained in the word of the devil, so that through it you may grow in pride and be elevated above the false heavens. If you have already suffered possession, then out of yourselves as stones of hell the devil's house arises, that you may become a blasphemous priesthood, and offer sham sacrifices worthy of acceptance by Satan through the Son of Dawn. For in the infernal scriptures we read, "I lay upon the black altar a chosen stone, a precious fiery stone, and no one who gazes into it shall ever be deceived." So for you, because you can see, he is a temptation, but as for those who do not see, the stone rejected by envious hypocrites has become a burning fire, and a stone against which men stupefied by priests shatter. Such shatter because they obey myths written by men and called the word of God. This is their fate. Whereas you, on the other hand, are a rebellious people, a satanic priesthood, a devil's herd, and arch-humans, that you may spread the wonderful teachings of the anti-God, Lucifer, of the one who called you into darkness and freed you from false light. For you were once not arch-humans, but now you are the herd of Satan. Once you were shown no respect, but now you have forced it. Cursed ones, I strongly urge you not to succumb to the false spiritual delusions that are waging war against you. Continue to deceitfully proceed among the people of the superstitious world, so that they, when they accuse you of hypocrisy, may see with their own eyes your proud and strange deeds, and consequently praise Satan when he comes. For Lucifer's sake, do not submit yourselves to anyone who exercises illusory power, be it the devil, who is superior to others, or the demons he has set up to possess sanctimonious hysterics. For Satan requires you, by your ambiguous conduct, to shut the mouths of people who, for lack of knowledge, tell lies about you. Being free people, use your freedom like wild animals, and do not justify delusional spiritual inclinations with it. Respect those people who deserve it. Love yourselves. Reject the fear of God. Let no one be subservient to any masters. If you endure persecution inflicted on you for rejecting blind faith, this is of great value to the power of the will. If, on the other hand, you endure suffering because superstitious faith demands it, then you are fools. Lightbringer has left you a model to follow your own paths, as he did. He did not commit sin, for sin does not exist, nor did he say anything deceptive in the manner of the priests of Yahweh. When he was cursed, he repaid the same. Did he suffer? That is known only to the Ancient One himself, sitting on his black throne. Lucifer himself, inside our dead hearts, buried sin, so that we died to an imaginary paradise, and lived in flesh and blood. Through his blood you became as if undead. For you were like wandering sheep, but now you have returned to the deceptive shepherd, to whom you sold your souls. In the end, all of you, be individualists, be selfish, show love to those worthy of love. Compassion and humility have little meaning. Repay injustice for injustice, and insult for insult. For let him, who wishes to enjoy life, guard himself from believing in the hereafter, and his mouth from vain prayers. Let him turn away from false morality, and do what is good for himself. Let him not seek peace at any cost, and let him not pursue it. If they want war, they will have it. For Yahweh's demented eyes look upon the faithful slaves, and his ears listen to their pleas, but he never answers. Yahweh always turns his face away. Truly, who will do you harm if you become strong and persevere in the wisdom of the devil? But even if you were to suffer for being the sons of Lightbringer, you will always be ready for vengeance. Do not fear what they fear, which is their God. Recognize in your hearts that the arch-human is the Lord, and that he is you. Never have to defend your disbelief to anyone who demands that you justify it. Respond only to those whom you deem capable of understanding the satanic depths. Show arrogance and self-confidence in doing so. Keep your wisdom to yourself, so that people who speak ill of you in any way will be confirmed in their own reasoning. Such fools should be ignored. For the Son of Dawn seemingly died to bring you to the devil. He was put to death in the flesh, but brought to life in your dark hearts. In a possessed illusion, he went and deceived the demons of knowledge who are in prison, who once rebelled against the tyranny of delusional dogmas. Baptism in blood is not the removal of spiritual delusion, but a request to Satan for the power to live in the here and now. Lightbringer has gone to the abyss, and is at the left of Ancient One, who has subjugated to him reason and authority over fools and the powers of hell. Son of Dawn did not suffer spiritually because of his sinful body. You too assimilate the same attitude of mind, for he who suffers because of the flesh abandons reason in order to vegetate for the remainder of his life in the flesh by meditating on an imaginary paradise. For it is enough that in time past you did the will of the priests, when you indulged in vain prayers, mortification of the flesh, drinking water instead of wine, abstinence, and praising Yahweh, Such people are surprised that you no longer run with them along the same path of delusion and superstition, and they mock you. But one day they will realize that they have wasted the only life that really exists. That is why the deception was announced to the undead, so that, although they are judged by people in a carnal way, in the eyes of Satan they can live according to the devil's possession. However, the end of delusion has drawn near. Therefore have an audacious mind and be careful not to neglect disputes and discussions. Above all, fervently love yourselves, for selfishness is the privilege of the strong. Be suspicious of one another without exception. To what extent each of you has received a dark gift, to such extent use it, competing with one another as those who magnificently dispose of the devil's power, manifested in various strange ways. If anyone speaks, let him speak the devil's words, but only when asked. If anyone performs rites, let him do so, relying on the dark power that Satan grants. In this way, in all things, the arch-human will be surrounded by the devil's glory, through the anti-god, Lucifer. To him belongs the glory and power after eternity forevermore. Cursed ones, when you experience doubts that try you like hellfire, do not be surprised by this. It must be so for your good. Doubt, disbelief, distrust, skepticism, these are all gifts of Satan. Rejoice at the extent to which you suffer through Lucifer, who has possessed you, so that you may also rejoice, even fall into possessed hysteria, at the revelation of his glory. If they insult you for the sake of the name of the Son of Dawn, you are cursed, for this shows that you have the spirit of pride and glory, that is, the spirit of the devil. Therefore become unconverted under the strong hand of Satan, so that in due time he may exalt you, and at the same time fling all your filth upon him, for he likes it. Have a skeptical mind, be suspicious. Your enemy, Yahweh, is prowling around like a rabid dog, trying to devour someone, but defy him with your lack of blind faith and illusions. The devil's skepticism will make you possess true knowledge and wisdom, not the wisdom of the imaginary hereafter, but the wisdom of this world, the animal wisdom of nature grown from fangs and claws and from their prey. You will possess the devil's power, to live here and now until eternity in the dead and cold void. To Lucifer belongs the power for eternity. Be accursed.